Over the past few months, it seems whenever I post something about Rob Gronkowski, there's a good amount of hate or negative comments or people saying that they're annoyed by him. And it seems like with every post, there are more and more comments like that. And that was really head scratching to me. So I decided to put a poll out there and I asked, does post football Gronk annoy you? And the results really surprised me. It was just about at 60-40 no. These are mostly Patriots fans that were voting for this poll, and 4 out of every 10 think he's annoying. And then there were a lot of comments, and some of the stuff that I was seeing in these comments are just weird. So I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts on this because I don't understand a lot of where this is coming from. So Gronk is a personality, right? There's no denying that. He's a big goofball. He's a party animal. He's all that stuff. He's always been like that, right? Like, this isn't new. This isn't new behavior. He's always done silly stuff like this. And I don't know why people are choosing the time now to show their annoyance or hate or, disdain for what he does. And I think the main reason is that he's not on the Patriots anymore. I think a lot of people, now that he's not giving anything to us, I think a lot of people are turning on him for no good reason. And I don't really think that's fair. I don't understand why we are hating on someone who not only did he give you everything while he was a Patriot, but post-football, he's just living his best life. He's doing what he wants to do. And I think he's completely earned that right. And I think he's also earned the respect from fans to not hate on him for doing stuff that he loves. It's just so weird because I would understand the hate if he was doing, offensive stuff. If he was doing actual bad stuff, I would understand it more, but he's just being his same old self. I've seen people hate on the WWE thing, and they say that they treat him as, a circus act. And they did the same thing when he was on TV. I mean, yeah, they kind of did, but Gronk is a circus act. I don't know, why are people thinking that this is a new thing? He's always been that way. And I guess it just annoys me that now, since he's not on the Patriots, fans are choosing the time, now to turn on him. I just think that's kind of shallow. There's a difference between not really being a fan of someone's personality and actively hating on them or commenting go away or I'm getting real tired of Gronk when he's just doing stuff that he's enjoying. I understand not being a fan of that personality because it's not for everybody. Some people are a lot more old school or they don't think the way he does. As someone who's younger and does stupid shit themselves, I can get more on board with it, and I find Gronk hilarious, and I like pretty much everything he does. But I understand that's not everybody. If you're one of those people who didn't like the personality while he was here and still don't like it, I can respect that because at least that's being consistent. But it just seems like a lot of those people were a lot more quiet about it when he was a Patriot, and I don't think that's very fair. I would say that's being a hypocrite. I think there's a certain group of people who are still butthurt that he left at such a young age. I completely respect the guy. He's considered by a decent amount of people to be the greatest tight end ever played, and he did so with limited years. He got out at a very young age. He's a 3-time champion. His short career was filled with success, and his body took a beating. He decided he was going to focus on his health rather than continuing to beat up his body, playing something, his heart was invested in, but his body just wasn't capable of doing that anymore. I am never going to ever fault a person for doing what's best for them. But again, not everybody thinks that way. Some people are selfish and just say, oh, he retired early, he abandoned us. And because of they're so angry by that, whatever he does after the fact, they're automatically going to hate no matter what it is. Even if it was he was doing some really, real good in the world, I swear Gronk could save someone's life and there would be people that would still complain that he's not a Patriot anymore. Even if he wasn't the amazing, unstoppable presence on the field that he was, even if he was just some Joe Schmo average guy, he should still be allowed to retire and do whatever the hell he wants. I think, this hate I'm seeing is a little heightened because he was so good. And I think people think that he could have done that and stretched that out over a longer period of time. And maybe he could have. I think it was pretty evident, especially in the last year, that his body was just wearing down on him, man. I think he got out at the perfect time. But there are people that just say, you're Gronk. Like, why would you retire early? And they just look at it in a selfish way. They don't take a step back and look at, what Gronk wants, because that's what matters. I saw some people were annoyed that, a couple of his big announcements, they seemed to be fake outs. He's hyping up this big announcement, and he's acting like he's going to come back. But in reality, it was just to promote an event or a party or his next product or like whatever. So the act itself did bug me a little bit, because part of me, I didn't think he was going to come back, but part of me was leaving that door open just a smidge. But I do not blame Gronk in the slightest for capitalizing off of this false narrative that he's going to come back, and personally benefiting from that narrative. Because I can only imagine how freaking annoying it must have been to just, constantly berated by, I'm sure he heard it from everybody he ever, came into contact with for months and months after he did announce his retirement. When are you coming back? When are you coming back? He just probably heard it over and over again. And he said, you know what? Like, this narrative exists that I'm going to come out of retirement. And I didn't indicate that at all. Like, that was created completely by the fans, completely by the media, completely by whoever. Created by everybody but me. So I do not blame him one bit for seeing that narrative and using it against the people who made it. He said, okay, like, you guys are annoying the shit out of me. So I'm going to use the hype that you created, and I am going to personally benefit from it because I'm smart. And again, for a fan who wasn't pushing that narrative, and for the many other fans that weren't pushing that narrative, that may have gotten their hopes up from that act of slight deceivance. I don't know if that's a word, but whatever. I get being annoyed by that, but I don't really blame him for doing it. Yeah, I don't get, like, what is so bad about the stuff he's doing? Is it I think some of it's cringy, but is it cringy or like terrible or unwatchable or insufferable enough to constantly be like actively hating or like commenting? Like, is it really necessary? Does it bother you that much that he's having a good time? Does it really inconvenience you that much to see a video of a former star on your team having a good time? Does it really bug you that much to see that guy do what he wants and have fun? I just don't get why people are turning on him. I don't get why they're turning on him, and I don't get why they're acting like the stuff he's doing is new. Is it the TikToks? Is it the stuff that he did New Year's Eve? Is it The Masked Singer? Is it WWE? Because all of that stuff, to me, I think, is completely within Gronk's character. I've always seen him as that lovable goofball, and all of that stuff I just said falls completely into that category. And again, the personality is not for everybody. It's just not. It's for me. It's for a lot of other people, but it seems like a lot of people, they didn't say anything while he was here because he was giving you something. But now that he's not anymore, they feel it's necessary or it's okay to hate the guy for no real reason other than he's living his best life. It annoys me. I'm happy for the guy. He's having fun. He's still young. He's got a lot of goofy, stupid memories to come. And I personally am excited to see it. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Gronk. I think the dude's just living his life, having a good time. And I just don't see why he's getting so much hate for it, especially when he gave us so much. I just don't see what there is to complain about. If you see something that you think's cringy or whatever, just go on with your day. It doesn't affect you, like, at all. Again, I understand not liking the personality, but there's a difference between that and going out of your way to hate on someone. But yeah, what do you guys think? Comment below, let me know. As always, like and subscribe, and yeah.